disrespect persists. If they don't watch out, dump divers, the WNBA, and their faux pals in mainstream media will get what they want. Yes, you heard properly. WNBA will get its way. You may wonder what they want. The goal is more viewers. How? By eliminating Indiana fever. The WNBA says the Indiana fever is the biggest threat. Most importantly, Caitlin Clark is tearing up the league. She wasn't supposed to be WNBA's face. So how will they solve it? By expanding the league. Guess what? The new teams can pick one player from each roster. Making them lose one or more players a year allows the WNBA to progressively undermine the fever's enormous machine. Caitlin Clark is being calm. She wants everyone's approval. She wants happy fans. She's courting minimum wage earners who won't hire her. She's polite to the journalists despite their contempt. Caitlin Clark will eventually have enough. So what might happen? I hear you thinking, Clark may leave the WNBA and move to Europe if they focus on stopping her. She could easily earn 10 times a year doing what she's doing now. Only the WW doesn't realize she's helping the WNBA by staying in America. As many WNBA club seasons end, several players move overseas to play in the offseason. However, with all the WNBA controversy and poor salaries, several players are asking if they'll return. Let's discuss the offseason. Their actions are planned. None of this is accidental. Everything is planned, and it extends beyond destroying Caitlin Clark. A thrilling 2024 season finish for the Indiana Fevers. The squad owes a lot to first-round pick Caitlin Clark for making the playoffs after being one of the worst in the WNBA previous season. After an exciting collegiate career, Clark entered with high expectations in her first WNBA season and won Rookie of the Year, outperforming her peers. She wasn't alone. Several players helped the Fever. Clark partnered well with Kelsey Mitchell. Aaliyah Boston dominated the boards in paint. Game starter Elisa Smith averaged double-digit points. Despite her efforts, may Smith leave? Could more W players leave? In her farewell interview, Storm player Gabby Williams advised the WNBA to improve to retain international players. Here's her statement. I probably didn't say that when I first discussed prioritizing. Our commissioner said we could make $700,000. Actually, that's false. No player does that. We were promised team and league marketing agreements, but they fell short. International players still need more to stay here. That's player choice. If I choose to make more money and stop returning, the teams will be mad. So it is, yes, the WNBA need higher salary to stay. Business is how it works. I mean, nothing else. Gabby arrived in Istanbul for the offseason less than a week after that interview. This interview suggests she'll make more money in EuroLeague than in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark will weary of the nonsense and contempt. It's common for WNBA players to play overseas during the offseason. This has happened throughout the WNBA. In 2015, Diana Taurasi played in Russia instead of the WNBA. Russia's contract stipulated that she couldn't play in the WNBA, thus it was never announced that she couldn't. Russia gave Diana Taurasi $1.5 million to play in Russia, so everyone thought that happened. The WNBA's top salary was $107,000, obviously a tremendous jump. Diana accepted. She was the league's face when she played abroad. Diana took advantage of the WNBA's low popularity. With the expanding popularity of the WNBA and players' ability to generate money off brand deals and stardom, more private EuroLeague clubs may form. Some of these teams may target our WNBA stars. Like Gabby mentioned, we could lose more players to international play if the money and business make sense. After months of anticipation, the WNBA has announced the Golden State Valkyries expansion draft restrictions, so players migrating abroad isn't the only thing the Fever and the WNBA should dread. The expansion draft will be held on December 6th at an unspecified time. Golden State can choose one player from each team and one unrestricted free agent. Teams can keep 6 of their 12 players out of the expansion draft. Teams have rosters from 2024. Thus, unrestricted free agents and all active roster players are protected. In some cases, clubs should protect their U phase. Every team has a core this summer, and players can be cored for up to 2 years like an NFL franchise tag. For Fever, Kelsey Mitchell should be protected. Scored UFAs provide Indiana-exclusive bargaining rights in exchange for Supermax deals. Team protected player lists are due 10 days before the expansion draft. The league will not release the protected list. Instead, it will reveal expansion draft picks. Only 6 Valkyries expansion players can be protected by Indiana Fever. In the WNBA's expansion draft at the end of the year, the Golden State Valkyries can pick players to help begin their franchise. Current WNBA teams can protect 6 players from selection. According to supporters, Smith would not be one of the 6. Many have left Smith out of their top 6. Smith started 37 of 40 regular season games, but Christie's sides dropped her in the postseason. Smith played only 13 minutes in the Fever's 2 playoff games against the Sun. Clark will likely play with a new starting forward in 2025. I suppose these are Fever protection locks on the fence and possibly unprotected after the terms were set. The Fever will likely offer their first 3 protected slots to their big 3, who helped Indiana reach the playoffs. Kelsey Mitchell is Fever's last priority. Mitchell must be protected in the expansion draft this offseason to stay. For 7 seasons, Mitchell has led the Fever in scoring the most in all but 2. She and Fever rookie Caitlin Clark have backcourt synergy, so the Fever will want to keep them. Caitlin Clark broke the single-season league record for assists, the rookie record for points and three-pointers made, and gave the Fever offense the up-tempo pace they needed. Clark, a Fever regular, scored the most this season, 2 points ahead of Mitchell. Aaliyah Boston, as the top pick in 2023, Boston helped the Fever reload. She helped them go 13-27 in 2023 and 2-0-2-0 in 2024. The Fever's 2023 Rookie of the Year, Boston is a frightening post presence who excels on the short roll, rebounded efficiently, and fits well in their up-tempo system. Some Indiana Fever players are undecided about WNBA expansion. The Fever must choose 3 of these 4 amazing servants this year. All of these athletes deserve protection. They have started or played significant bench roles all season. The Fever front office may choose one alternative over another, depending on various factors. Lexi Hull, I think Hull will be safeguarded most. Only 1 season remains on her rookie contract. She started the season on the bench with few minutes and multiple DNPs, but she blossomed during the Olympics. She increased her three-point shooting from 22% to almost 50% in 15 games and helped Indiana space the floor in the 4th quarter. Nellie Smith, in normal conditions, the Fever would protect her. However, with extraneous events dominating the season, such as Smith complaining about her lack of touches and contributing less than she wanted, I think the 2 should part ways. The Fever might trade her or hold her for her last year of her rookie contract in 2025 as a former number 2 pick. Temi Fagbentle, the Fever's 32-year-old forward, takes Clark's cross-court passes in transition. She only played 22 regular season games due to thumb, foot, and shoulder ailments. Fagbentle can spread the floor as an athletic forward, but she must stay healthy. The Fever can match any offer she receives as a restricted free agent. Damaris Dantas, another player with a knee ailment, spent nearly half the season on the ban list, but she quickly forced her way into the rotation, bringing much-needed depth to the front court. Her consistent three-point shooting gives the Fever room and energy. She has 1 year left on her contract. I expect these 5 players to be unprotected in the expansion draft, leaving them vulnerable to Valkyrie's picks. The fact that these players are unprotected does not ensure selection. Only 1 participant per team will be chosen. Thus, most of these players can return to the Fever in 2025. Katie Lou Samuelson in August 2023. Samuelson returned to the WNBA after a year off to deliver her daughter. She told the Fever's goodbye interviews that returning to the league after giving birth was harder than she expected owing to the physical demands in handling a baby. Samuelson started at 3 but struggled to shoot from 3, lowering her numbers. Samuelson will earn $180,000 from the Fever in 2025 with 1 year left on her contract. With Clark at point guard 2023, no. 7-pick Grace Berger saw her playing time decrease this season. Berger had no rotation role this season, thus she played garbage time. The 2023 all-rookie guard may benefit from a change of scenery to get more playing time. Victoria Saxton, after 2 years with the Fever, she is still not a rotation player. She has largely played mop-up since being drafted in the 3rd round in 2023. In the final game of the season, when the Fever rested starters, she scored 5 points in 5 minutes. The Fever had only 1 Olympian in cycle, Christy Wallace, who won bronze with Australia. Other than that, she had an up-and-down year, starting 15 games at 3 for the Fever before Hull took over late in the season and she didn't play. She has 1 year left on her rookie contract. Erica Wheeler, a 10-year WNBA veteran. Wheeler was the league's highest-paid player in 2023 after signing a 2-year contract. With Clark joining the team this year, Wheeler went from the starting lineup to the bench, but she was a vital veteran morale booster for Indiana. Summer unrestricted free agent Wheeler. Your expectations? Who do you think Valkyries will pick? Who will the Fever sign before next season? Comment below with your ideas.